Right now, I'm multitasking. Maybe not multitasking, maybe procrastinating. Well, obviously not right now. I mean, right now I'm filming a video, but while I was preparing for this, oof, the procrastination was strong with this one. Hello world, I'm Lisa, this is Lisa Thanks a Lot, brace yourselves, overanalysis is coming. Procrastination is a habit, and it's one that I have cultivated throughout my life. You might even argue that the only thing I'm better at than procrastination is multitasking. Haha, yeah, so about both of those things. At least for me, procrastination and multitasking are pretty related. I mean, the only way to make it really easy to not work on what you're supposed to be working on is if you can kind of sort of work on lots of other things that you are kind of sort of supposed to be working on. Obviously doesn't work. Neither does multitasking. I mean, you try and get a lot of things done and instead you just realize that, oh, I just spent a whole bunch of a lot of time on Facebook. This is in part due to something known as the limited capacity model. The limited capacity model attempts to describe why people literally have a limited capacity for information. And it's basically because your brain works a lot like a computer. For the most part, information is stored in the hard drives, but when you're actually working with it, it's all up in RAM. Unfortunately, your RAM can handle a whole lot less information than your infinite array of solid-state drives. Your brain basically works the same way. Either things are back in long-term storage, or else they're up front, metaphorically, in your working memory. Unfortunately, working memory doesn't have much of a capacity, ergo limited capacity, ergo texting and driving is bad, don't do it, and that is exactly why. Plus there's all the time lost between switching tasks, and basically, however good you think you are at multitasking, you're really not that good. Unfortunately, much like procrastination, multitasking is a habit. Even as I wrote this particular sentence, the urge to switch to a different window was super strong. Instead, I just got up and made sure that I had this book to show you guys as an example. So this book is The Shallows by Nicholas Carr, and he basically holds that the internet is making us essentially remold our brains in ways that make it not possible for us to actually, have our memory or attention on any one thing for any length of time. Now, I don't really agree with him completely. I mean, I've read enough books and played enough video games and written enough term papers to know that when I really put my mind to it, or even if I don't really put my mind to it, I can definitely have periods of very intense focus. It's actually a thing known as flow, which is a different topic. So clearly we don't always multitask and we don't always procrastinate because otherwise our society would just be a hot mess. I've recently been trying to get better at both of those things in an effort to be less depressed and anxious and more, I will finish my thesis. So I just briefly wanted to share with you guys a few of the things that I've been attempting to do in order to actually get shit done. Thing numero uno, deadlines. I used to think I just liked deadlines because I was a journalism major, but it turns out they're actually super useful. I mean, there's a reason that bills have dates on them. If otherwise you'd just be like, I don't need to pay the gas. I don't actually shower with hot water. That's silly. Thing numero dos, manageable goals. I know at least for me, it's super hard to even get started because you're like, oh my god, if I start doing this thing, I will never stop doing the thing. Examples, thesis, cleaning my house, unpacking because I moved in March. Thing number 3, work with fewer internet/screen resources. At least for me, I've got 2 monitors, which is fantastic for me getting things done sometimes because I can pull up lots of things, and other times it's really not fantastic because I can pull up lots of things. Sort of along that same vein is thing number 4, which is changing your setting. I know at least for me this works super well. Like, you put me in a coffee shop and I will write a novel. Actually, not really, but it works really well. I'm obviously not perfect about doing all of these things, otherwise I wouldn't be filming this very late on Sunday and planning to edit it on Monday. Sorry if I nerded out a bit hard. Please let me know what sort of issues you might have with procrastination and multitasking in the comments. Also, let me know if you like it when I talk about things that I researched for my master's, because I might do so more. Until next time, do your research and don't forget to be awesome. You should be doing that thing. You should be doing that thing. Why aren't you doing that thing?